Hey everyone, happy Sunday. It is Sunday night, so you know what that means at Dudash Farms. We're here and we're going to prepare some dinner with some of our products. So welcome to What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms. I am Kim Dudash, and in the background here we've got Brian Dudash.
Hola.
So yeah, we're excited to see you guys with us tonight. We are going to prepare a Cuban Style Picadillo. That's what we're doing tonight, and we're going to use our unseasoned ground pork. So we're excited about that. I hope you guys have been enjoying the Olympics. You know, it started this weekend. It's really kind of funny. Brian and I went to a restaurant last night, and they had all these televisions, and so I was watching over, well, I had turned around so that I could see the television and watch the Olympics, and the waiter came up thinking that I needed something. And I told him, no, I didn't need anything. I was watching the Olympics. And he said, the Olympics? And I said, yeah, it's the Summer Olympics. And he says, that happens in July? So here he was surrounded by all of these televisions broadcasting the Olympics, and he didn't even know. So I'm here to tell you, if you didn't know, the Olympics is on. So you guys, we are enjoying it. I hope you guys will too. We got it for the next 2 weeks, right? So if you're just joining us, I know I'm killing a little time letting people join us here, but we are making a Cuban style picadillo with our unseasoned ground pork tonight. So I'm going to let you see what Brian has done so far, because we took a few steps before we started tonight so that I don't keep you on this Facebook Live forever. But let's see who we've got. Rodney Pearson is watching. Hey, Rodney. Raymond Raper is watching. Meryl. Hi, Kim and Brian. Miller's checking in from Maine. I know you guys, I've been following you, Meryl, and I've been watching you and looking at all your pictures, and you make me want to go to Maine, so hopefully we'll be able to do that soon. Christy Thulin is watching. She says, hello, lady. I haven't been able to watch live in a long time. Well, Christy, I'm glad you caught us tonight. I better check in with Brian because he's already started. So let's see what he's got going on here. All right, Mr. Dudash, what you doing?
Okay, so in the pan I got a bell pepper and an onion.
Okay.
That we've fried in some olive oil, and we put some seasoning in here. And there's a tablespoon of oregano, tablespoon of ground cumin, and a quarter teaspoon of ground cinnamon.
Got it.
I don't think I've ever cooked with cinnamon before.
In a savory dish?
Yeah, everything is sauteed now, so we're going to add our garlic here.
All right.
So you just want to cook that just for a little bit. You don't want to overcook your garlic.
Yeah, and of course we were loving this recipe because you know, it has garlic in it. I want to tell you guys how we came about this recipe. So Brian and I, we were able to take a Mediterranean cruise back in 2019, and they had some folks there from the America's Test Kitchen, and so Brian and I would go to these little test kitchen, I don't know, what would you call it? Demonstrations. And so this was one of the meals that they prepared on our cruise, and we came home with all these delicious recipes. And this one is perfect because, again, it's using our unseasoned pork, and it's going to be something. It's delicious, number one, and it's going to be one of those meals that maybe after your kids get home from school, or maybe you get home from work, just something that you put together, and really tasty and not hard. You know that anything that we do on What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms is not going to be a really hard recipe to follow. So what else are we doing, Brian?
Okay, so we're going to add a can of diced tomatoes.
Alrighty.
3/4 cup. We're doing red wine. The recipe calls for white wine, but we only
have red,
yeah.
So we're going to use red.
And I'm going to save a little bit. And half a cup of beef broth.
Say that 5 times fast,
No.
right?
So we need to let this cook down a little bit. So this is where you got to
Where I've got to do my tap dance.
Yeah.
All right.
But this is, we can show them the ground pork here.
Yeah.
So it calls for lean ground pork, and everything we have is pork-wise.
Super lean.
Yeah, lean. Bag's already cut open. So that's the label. That's something you want to see. That's actually showing that it's been inspected by USDA, which is also a requirement for our retail license.
That's right.
To have, or anybody who's selling meat, is to have a retail license and for it to be USDA inspected.
That's
right. Something you want to see.
That's right. And you know, we have been So we had, like, everybody's been asking for our pork chops, and for the past couple of weeks we've not had any pork chops, and that's because, man, on the 4th of July weekend everybody wanted them. They're that good. And we've been super excited that at the Ebenezer Farm Market that we've been going to, our pork is really popular. They love it there, so we're thankful for you guys and appreciate all of the business that you've been giving us. But we will be fully stocked this week and this weekend in all of our pork products, because we are going to the butcher on Monday to pick up that pork. So, and you know, right now we have to travel either to Greenville, Tazewell, or Williamsburg, Kentucky, to actually go to a USDA inspected butcher. So that's quite a trip. I mean, the trip to Williamsburg is like a 3-hour round trip, isn't it, right? 4-hour round trip. So we'll be picking up on Monday, and then on Friday we'll go back to the butcher to pick up beef. So this week we'll be fully stocked in all things. Well, with the exception of filet, beef filet, because we have a waiting list for our beef filet. It's crazy. So we're still a month out. So if you guys want some filet, but make sure that you contact us so we can put you on the waiting list for that. It's just really tasty, and we don't have, you know, there's not a lot on when we go and pick up. There's not a lot on a carcass. That sounds really strange to say it that way, but that's the reality of it. So it's not, we don't have a lot, and so we do have a waiting list. All right, let's see who else is watching here. We've got Pauline Kindred. Pauline, you're back from vacation, so we need to hook up so we can get you your smoked pork jowl, because you won that in our trivia. So we need to make sure we make plans to get that to you. And Mom Dudash is watching. Hello, Ann. Let's see who else we got. Let's see. Mary Ellen LePage is watching. Hi, Mary Ellen. I was going to call you something else. Mary Ellen. And we've got Richard LeBlanc. Richie, hello. Please tell Angela that Brian and I said hello. So Angela and Richie were actually on our Mediterranean cruise when we went back in a couple of years ago, and that's where we met them, and we have made some great friends, and we hope that we can see you guys again soon. We just had so much fun on that. Ashley Adams, hello. You're not Ashley Adams anymore, girl. You need to change your name. But congratulations. I'm glad you're watching. And yeah, Pauline says, yes, yay. I can't wait to get it and try it. It's very good, Pauline. Very, very good. All right. So for those of you who are just joining us, we are making Cuban Style Picadillo this evening with our unseasoned ground pork. And Brian is, he has started it. We're kind of waiting to let it to cook down just a little bit. Brian, do we want to go ahead while we're waiting and do our trivia?
Yeah, that made me think of that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we have another trivia question. So whoever, Brian asked, what do you win? That's a very good question. So if you get our trivia question correct, or the answer correct, then you will get a pound of our unseasoned ground pork. All right, so here is the trivia question. At what age does Dudash Farms butcher their hogs? Do you know what age Dudash Farms butchers their hogs? If you get this correct, you will win a package of our unseasoned ground pork. Leslie Sands, hello, you're watching. I see that your little mama actually went kayaking this weekend, so she looked adorable, and I hope she watches later. But Vicki, you looked adorable, looked like you were having a great time, so it's good for you to get out and do that kind of thing. You know, we are loving summer, but right now farmers are not really enjoying the summer because we desperately need rain, you all. I know that we've had rain all around us. It seems like we've seen it in Greenville, we've seen it in Sevierville, but here at Dudash Farms, we have maybe had one significant rainfall in the past 2 months. And so our fields are completely dried up.
And we're feeding hay right now.
That's right. At this point right now, we're having to feed hay, which is not where you want to be in the middle of summer. And normally, you know, we talked a lot about our first cutting of hay. We were able to get all of that completed by the end of May, and we would normally have 2 hay cuttings in a season. But with everything as dry as it is, our fields are all dried up, and we don't know that we're going to actually be able to have a second cutting of hay. So y'all, let's pray for some rain. We desperately need it here. So that's some of the things that farmers have to deal with, not just us, but all farmers. And when you think about making sure that you're caring for your animals properly, and you want to give them the good, nutritious hay, you know, in our newsletter, if you subscribe to that, we've talked a lot about what we do to make sure that our hay is good quality hay for our animals. And when there's no rain and it dries up, there's not only not good quality hay, there's no hay at all. So we're praying for some rain here. Let's see. We have, Leslie says, Mom is watching too. She said yes, she did. Well, good. All right, Brian, how are we doing over there?
Well, I put the ground pork in.
Okay.
So we just gotta get that cooked.
That cooked down.
Yeah. So you still gotta.
I still gotta talk. Oh my goodness. I'm not very good at that.
Well, okay. So you talked about trivia.
Yes.
And last week, Christina Epperson, formerly Dudash,
yes,
actually guessed the right number, but she was not eligible to win.
That's right.
No family members.
Immediate family members
yes,
are not eligible to win.
Yes.
Yeah, and
so
how amazing.
That's why we gave it to Sharon Manning.
That's
and
right.
Christina hasn't been on the farm.
Yeah, so
while.
it's pretty amazing that
yeah.
she got that right. So yeah, I mean, she got it like exactly right. So Sharon Manning was our trivia winner last weekend. So Sharon Manning, we need to hook up with you because you get some beef ribs.
And we did see Raymond Raper. Sorry, Raymond. On Saturday, he finally collected his winnings.
Yeah, he did. So Raymond came by. He was one of our trivia winners, and he got his pound of ground beef on Saturday. We were happy to see him and Melanie and their sweet little ones. So, hey, Jerry Shelton. Jerry Shelton and I used to work together years ago, and he's watching, so it's good to see you. So you all, if you're just joining us, we are making Cuban Style Picadillo, and we will share this recipe on our in our newsletter when we send that out, and it will come out not this week but next. So we try to get it out as close to the first of the month as possible. So this month's newsletter is going to have some great recipes in it. We're going to have that the flat iron steak with the chimichurri that we had, which was delicious. You all definitely need to try that. And we'll have this one, and it is another good one. And the ribs. So we've got all of those great recipes. Raymond said, so good to see you all too. It's always good to see you, Raymond. So this one, so far, Brian, there's been a little pre-work. So this one takes a little bit longer than some of our others. But we are using our unseasoned ground pork. It's got green bell pepper, it's got onion, it's got dried oregano, ground cumin. It also has ground cinnamon, 6 garlic cloves, lots of garlic in this thing, which is good for us. Whole can of tomatoes, drained, chopped. A cup of dry white wine. We used red wine. So see, it's just a foundation. You can use whatever you want to. A cup of beef broth, and now Brian has put in the ground pork. We're waiting for that to cook down a bit. Yep. So now what happens, Brian?
Yep, so really all we need to add now is some capers, some red wine vinegar, and some sliced olives with pimentos.
Got it.
And we'll serve that over white rice.
Yeah, so that's really about it. Debbie French and Jim French are watching. So yeah, after we cook this down, we have that light on. We will serve it over some rice, and you can. The recipe calls for you to put chopped
raisins.
It calls for raisins, but Brian and I are not fans.
Yeah, it didn't really sound right.
Yeah, we're not
and
really fans.
And it said you could substitute brown sugar, but when we tried it the other night, it didn't seem like it needed any more sweetness.
Yeah, it tasted really, really good, so we enjoyed it. All right. So you want to...
Any trivia responses?
No trivia responses. Is there? So remember our trivia question, y'all. Our trivia question is, do you know at what age we, at Dudash Farms, we actually butcher our pigs? for our ground pork. Does anybody know? Nothing. Silence, radio silence. Any guesses?
That's the first time we've never had any.
I know. No guesses. Come on, Rodney Pearson. Come on, Pauline.
He can't count that high.
He can't count that high? 5 years, Pauline said. Leslie Sands says 9 months. We've got some guesses going. Anybody else? So I will say that Leslie is close. Denise, hi Denise Kelly. Denise Kelly is watching. Cindy Calhoun says 18 months. You know, we've talked about in other What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms, the gestation period for pigs, and the gestation period is 3 months, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, is
Yes.
that what it is? Yeah, can y'all believe that? 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. And they grow extremely fast. Just to put it in perspective, we have our little piglets were born in what, February?
Late February.
Late February, and here it is, middle of July, and they already weigh about 250 pounds. So yeah, Mary Jane Russell McGee says 12 months. Nancy Cott says 4 months. Leslie says that. Vicki says 6 months. We're getting close. I know. Somebody did the wow, and it's true. I mean, can you believe how fast? Cindy Morrison Calhoun, she has changed hers from 18 months to 5 months. You guys are getting close. So, Mary Ellen LePage, do you have a guess, Mary Ellen? All right. So we'll give it another. So we'll give it while Brian is serving up the rice, and then we'll pick the closest. How's that sound? Good? All right. I know. They grow really fast. And so,
But they eat a lot,
you know,
too.
I'm going to tell you, they do eat a lot. Oh my gosh. How much are they eating now?
10 pounds a day?
Each?
Yes.
So, did you hear that, gang? These pigs that we have right now, they eat 10 pounds of feed a day each.
That's on top of pasture.
That's on top of pasture. That's right. Leslie Sands says 8 months. Pauline Kindred says 7 months. Sounds like we may just have to give out 2. We're going to have to give out 2 trivia winners here because, yeah, we butcher between 7 and 8 months.
And there will be 250 to 275 pounds.
They will. They will be 250 to 275 pounds. Yeah, Pauline says, holy moly. Yeah. And here's the thing. If for us, that's the ideal time to butcher because anything more than that, all they're gaining is fat. And have you ever had sausage that you fry up in your pan and you have very little meat left and all you have is this pan full of just grease and fat? You're not going to have that with Dudash Farms sausage, not at all. Because our pigs, we try to get them in that time when it's going to be lean, it's going to be not super lean, not to the point that it doesn't have any flavor. It's very flavorful, but it's not going to be it's not going to be swimming in fat. And I would bet that Nancy Kite would tell us that she agrees that our sausage is very good. She loves our sausage, and we love Nancy Kite. So, but it's very good, very lean. Very tasty. But if you get, I'm going to say this. So if you buy your sausage from some of these other larger facilities, they take these old sows that basically can no longer birth babies, and those are the pigs that they slaughter to put in your sausage. At Dudash Farms, they have the best life ever while they're here on the farm. They have fun, and we make sure they're very well taken care of, but we don't let them get to that point where you're just going to be having disgusting sausage,
Yep.
right? Yeah. So, look, y'all. Brian, and Nancy Kite is watching. All right, so Brian has plated this up, and it looks really good, y'all. Nancy says, we had really good sausage this morning from Dudash Farms. Thank you, Nancy. I knew you would show up. All right, here we go. So here we have our Cuban style. Let me put this here so it looks a little more, well, it doesn't look fancy. But so this is Cuban Style Picadillo. It has our unseasoned ground pork in it. We are gonna make sure that we put this recipe on our newsletter. So you guys be sure you look for that. It's really tasty. It looks like a lot of work. It's really not a lot of work, would you say, Brian? But it does take a little time to brown the meat.
Because it's like sequential.
That's right. It's like sequential. So it's very tasty, very good. And yeah, so that is what we're having tonight for dinner at Dudash Farms. So, Mr. Dudash, is there anything else? Oops, wrong way. There we go. Anything else you want to add to anything we've said tonight? Or
Let's eat.
Let's eat, yeah. Y'all, thank you for joining us. We have fun when we do this with you guys, and we just want you to know how much we appreciate your business, and we hope that you will come out and see us at the farmers markets this week. We'll be at Ebenezer on Tuesday from 3 until 6, and then we will be at the Dandridge Market on Saturday from 8 until noon, and we would love to see you, and we will be fully stocked. So come out and see us and try this recipe when you get it in our newsletter. And if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, go to our website, dudashfarms.com. I tried something new. It's supposed to be at the bottom of our live today. I don't know if it is or not. We'll see. But go to our website and just select to subscribe to our newsletter, and we'll send you all these delicious recipes. And I miss you too. Your mom says she misses us. We miss you too. Hopefully we can get together soon.
Hopefully
We love you guys. Yeah, hopefully Thanksgiving. That's the plan. All right, y'all. Have a great week, and we will see you next Sunday night. See ya. Bye.